Hello, and welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. In this video, I'm going to share with you some upgrade DIYs. These are all items that someone else is throwing away, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on, and so I'm going to be fixing them and giving them an upgrade so that they fit into my home decor. Okay, let's get started. For this first project, I'm using this dog toy storage cube, and we don't need it to put dog toys in. And I'm using this ribbon. It's burlap ribbon. It has lace on it. I got the ribbon from Dollar Tree. I only have pieces of this ribbon, so I'm just going to be piecing the pieces of ribbon together as I go around the storage cube. And I'm mostly using it here to cover up the dog toys part. And it helps on the side. It helps camouflage the bone shape of the handles that are on the sides of the storage cube. I'm just gluing the pieces down, like I said, around the back where it covered up the dog toys part, and then on the sides. I'm just gluing the piece there on top of the other just so it blends in together and it's not so noticeable that there are separate pieces of ribbon glued onto the storage cube. And I have this stencil. It says follow your dreams, and it has some clouds on it. And that's what I am going to be stenciling onto the storage cube. And because of how flimsy the storage cube is, it's not like super flimsy, but it's just not solid. So I just have to keep turning the storage cube and pressing down on the stencil in different places to make sure that I don't get paint in underneath the stenciling. And there, that is on there. Now, to cover up where the ends of the ribbons are so they don't look so harsh, I'm using these white carnations. And the reason I chose these is because it kind of resemble like fluffy cumulus clouds to me. And I cut the very end of the flowers off, like where the stem goes in. So I glued down the individual parts of the flowers. And there, that is completed. And I'm going to take this jute rope and wrap that around to help camouflage the bones more. You're still going to be able to see it on the inside, but on the outside, it's not going to be so noticeable that that is a bone shape. Just wrap that all the way around there and glue it into place. And I'm going to do this on both sides where the bone handles are. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to wrap the jute rope around on this. I got this jute rope at Temu. Yeah, I ordered it from Temu. It's very good price for it. Okay, now that's completed, and follow your dreams. My vacation tourist guides, I guess you could call them. Okay, now this is the second project, and this is a lantern. There was no top to it, no light in it or anything. One of the slats, I guess you could call it, was broken. And then I have the top to a wax warmer, and the handle part on the what is going to be the lantern's lid is a stopper from a bottle from Dollar Tree. And then I'm using plastic lids. They were for the large chicken pot pies at Walmart, and the plastic on it was perfect, but you could use like the cutting mats they have at Dollar Tree. Okay, so now I'm painting the lid and the lantern burnt umber, and I want to do like a crackle effect on this. So after the burnt umber is dry, then I'm brushing on Mod Podge. And I have a video that I done recently where I go more in depth on how to do the crackle method. So I will have that at the end of this video. I will have that as the video that'll pop up on the screen that you can click on in case you want to learn more about how to do that. You could also go to my channel and just look for the video that says Mod Podge, Crackle with Mod Podge tutorial, and watch that video. Then after I get the Mod Podge all on there, then I'm going to let it set for just a couple minutes. So I don't want it to completely dry, but I don't want it to be super wet. And then I just lightly brush the white paint over top of the Mod Podge. And then I take my hair dryer. You could also let it air dry, but I took my hair dryer to it. And as it's drying with the hair dryer, you will see the crackles start coming out onto the lantern. So you can see it on there. I've got it sped up just for time's sake, but you can, like I said, you can see the crackle that is on there. It's even more noticeable in person things don't always show up so well on videos. And now I'm doing the lid, I'm drying it. And when I moved it right there, I got a little bit of paint off of it and on my finger. So you'll see that there's a spot out there on that one side, but that's okay. I like it like that. And I'm using super glue and hot glue to glue the knob down on top of the lid. And now I'm going to use the plastic lids. I had 2 of these, so that was perfect because I needed 4 slats and I can get 2 out of each one. And like I said, you could use the plastic chopping mats that they have at Dollar Tree, but they were out of them at my store. And I had these, so I was like, this is what I'm going to use instead. So trace the slat out and then sliding that down inside and retrimming it to make sure it fits. And I'm going to do this for all 4 of them. Now you can't really see what I'm doing here. I was a little off camera, but what I'm doing is taking a sponge stomper and I'm just swirling Mod Podge onto the plastic so that it's not so super clear and it's kind of got a little bit of a texture to it. Now I'm using these stencils here to stencil on a design. You could use whatever design you wanted to. I'm just using kind of a farmhouse theme. So I have a barn and a windmill and a rooster. Yeah, here comes the rooster. And the next one is like kind of like a field in front of a barn, and then I put a sun on there. There's a small sun, but I wanted a bigger sun, so I put that on there. Okay, there's the barn with the field, and then I'm going to put a big sun. It's actually a flower, but I kind of think it looks like a sun once I got it painted on there. Then I'm going to slide my slats down into the lantern and put my topper on. Now I need the light, and I'm going to wrap some jute rope around the bottom of that stopper knob because I was not able to remove that stopper part. So I just decided I'm going to leave it on there and wrap around the jute rope because farmhouse, jute rope goes fine with that. And I like it after it's all finished. I think it looks good. So here we have that all done, all wrapped around there. I'm so happy with how this turned out. And I love this tea light that's in there. I got these from Dollar General at Halloween time, and I just love how they flicker. They look like a real flame, and it makes me happy to see those. Okay, now on to the third project. This is just a little, I guess you could call it a curio cabinet maybe. And then I have a little pig, a milk bottle, and some other little trinkets, a little cow and stuff. And I'm going to do those up to put in the shelves in this little cabinet. Now the paint that I am using to paint this with is, I believe this is Orchard Apple. And I chose this color because it's similar to the color of the walls of my kitchen, which are English apple. Now I'm also going to be doing the crackle effect on here, so this is not going to be completely green whenever I am finished. Here I'm putting the Mod Podge on for the crackle effect. And after I got all of that on, then I mixed up black and white to make this gray color that I am now putting on. And I'm just lightly going over the Mod Podge with this gray all over top of where the green is. And then whenever I do, I take my hair dryer to dry it, just a little bit of that green is going to pop through. You can use whatever color combinations you want to do the crackle. It does not have to be just brown and white or black and white or anything. And it's hard to see on camera. I think I showed the top here in a minute, and you can see it a little better. So you can kind of see that it shows through. But in person, it looks great. Now I'm going to paint the inside of the cabinet. I debated on this whether or not I was going to. And once I had it painted, it's like, yeah, I should do that. So I decided to. And now I'm going to paint the knobs and the front of these drawers. I'm painting them black. And then after I do that, then I'm going to put the Mod Podge on. And for the knobs, I'm going to, after the Mod Podge is on there, I'm going to use brown. But then for the front of the drawers, I'm going to use just a little bit darker gray than what the color of the cabinet is. So after I get the black paint dry, then I put the Mod Podge on. Then I'm going to mix up the darker gray color, and that's what I'm going to paint over top of the Mod Podge that is on the front of the doors. Just like that. And then I'm going to put the burnt umber. I'm going to paint that on the knobs. Then I'm going to Once again, use my hair dryer to dry that and get the crackle effect on those as well. After I get that all dry, now it's time to make my decorations for the shelves. Now this little milk bottle, it's just a little wooden milk bottle. It actually came with the cabinet, it was in there, but the top to the cabinet is missing. I have no idea what happened to that. So we're going to be decorating that and covering up the holes that are on top, and I think it turns out great. So I'm just painting the milk bottle completely white, and after I get it all painted, I'm just going to set it off to the side, let it dry while I make the rest of the decorations. Okay, I had these little pieces that came off of some jingle bells, and then I have some red beads. And I'm just going to glue the red beads into the hole in the top of the little thing that was on the jingle bells. And my idea was that it would kind of look like some kind of pastry. And when my granddaughter saw them, she called them cupcakes. So that's what we're going to say they are. These are cupcakes. And then I have this button and a little piggy bank, and I'm going to glue the button into the slot in top of the piggy bank. Instead of gluing a penny, I thought I'm going to do a button. I think that's kind of cute. So that's what I did there. And now I'm going to make the decoration on top of my cabinet. I'm using some pieces off of a vine and some berries, and I'm just gluing those on there so that it covers up the holes that were in top, that were in the top, that where the top was supposed to go on the cabinet. I'm just gluing those on there just in a nice little pattern. I add a little bit more of the vine. I didn't show that part, but it's on there, and so it's a little thicker, and then I just glue those berries on there. And now I'm painting, the milk bottle's dry, so I'm going to paint on the word milk and then like a little outline around the word so that it looks like it's a label on the bottle that says milk. And now all of my decorations are made, so I'm going to glue those into the shelf. I glue a little bit of those berries in front of the milk bottle, like that. Now I'm going to glue a little cow on the shelf with the milk bottle. I'm going to take the little pig and glue that onto the next shelf up. And on the shelf with the pigs, I'm going to glue on my little cupcakes. I'm going to put both of those on there. I just use my big crafting tweezers is what I call them. They help me grip things that are in small spaces, or they're small, just help so that I don't get hot glue on my fingers. I can't tell you how many times I've been burnt. This is a ring that came off of some cupcakes on Valentine's Day, and I just glued that on the top shelf. I wanted to add a little pop of red to it because that is my accent color in the kitchen. I have English apple walls, medium gray trim, and then red accents. And there's this little cabinet. I just love how this turned out. I think it is so adorable. Let me know what you think of this. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.